The restaurant was glowing under golden lights, soft music floating through the air, laughter echoing from neatly dressed couples enjoying their night. But for Ethan, the man sitting at table 6 in a navy blue shirt, tonight was anything but ordinary. He wasn't here for love. He was here for money. His heart was heavy, his conscience restless. Because tonight, he had been paid to humiliate a woman he had never met. If you believe that kindness and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world and helps spread messages that truly matter. Ethan had never thought he'd sink this low. He was a single dad, raising his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, alone after losing his wife 2 years ago in a car accident. Since then, life had become a constant battle, overdue bills, sleepless nights, and endless guilt. He worked 2 jobs, but still, he was drowning. So when a wealthy stranger approached him online with an offer, $1,000 for one evening, Ethan didn't think twice. The task seemed cruel, but simple. Go on a blind date with a dwarf woman, pretend to be interested, and then publicly walk out in disgust. She needs to be taught a lesson, the man had said. Ethan didn't ask why. He just saw the money and thought of his daughter's school fees. When she walked into the restaurant, his heart skipped a beat, not out of attraction, but guilt. She was beautiful. Her blonde hair fell in soft curls down her shoulders, her red dress shining against her fair skin. Her height was the only thing that made her stand out, but there was something in her face, confidence mixed with vulnerability, that made her presence magnetic. She smiled nervously, clutching her small purse, scanning the tables until her eyes found his. He stood up, forcing a smile, and greeted her. "You must be Ava," he said quietly. She nodded, her smile growing warmer, as if she sensed the discomfort in his voice but chose to ignore it. She placed her purse on the chair beside her, her small hands trembling slightly as she picked up the menu. "I'm glad you showed up," she said. "Most people don't." Her words hit him harder than he expected. Most people don't. He looked at her, realizing this wasn't just another dinner for her, it was a chance. A chance to be seen, to be treated like anyone else. And here he was, paid to destroy that. As the waiter brought their drinks, Ethan tried to stay focused on the plan. He had to make her uncomfortable, say something cruel, then walk out. But the more she talked, the more impossible it became. She spoke about her dreams, to start a foundation for children born with dwarfism, to educate people about acceptance and self-worth. She laughed easily, with a brightness that filled the empty corners of the room. Her spirit made Ethan forget for a moment why he was there. But then his phone buzzed. A message. "Do it now. Stand up, insult her, and leave." The stranger's words glared at him from the screen like poison. Ethan's hands shook. He looked at Ava, who was describing how hard it was to get people to look past her height and see her soul. Her eyes sparkled with honesty. That was the moment he couldn't do it. He pushed his phone aside, pretending to smile, trying to drown the guilt. But before he could decide what to do, a man from the bar, tall, smug, and clearly drunk, walked toward their table. "So this is your date?" He sneered loudly enough for others to hear. "Didn't think you'd stoop this low, man." He laughed, cruel and mocking. The room fell silent. Ava's face turned pale. Ethan froze, realizing this must be the same man who paid him. "Leave her alone," Ethan said quietly. The man smirked. "You were supposed to do that. Remember, you're not backing out, are you?" Ava's eyes widened, confusion clouding her face. "What is he talking about?" she asked softly. Ethan felt his chest tighten. This was the moment everything would crumble. He stood up, trembling. "I was paid," he confessed, voice cracking. "I was paid to ruin this date. To hurt you. But I can't. I'm sorry. I swear I didn't know you. I didn't know what kind of person you are." The room went dead silent. Ava stared at him, tears filling her eyes, but not from anger, from something deeper, like the pain of hearing something she'd suspected her whole life. She looked down, her lips trembling, but when she looked up again, there was strength in her gaze. "You could have done it," she said softly. "You could have walked out and taken the money. But you didn't. That tells me more about who you are than how you got here." Ethan felt his eyes sting. "I'm so sorry," he whispered. "I just needed to take care of my daughter. I wasn't thinking straight." Ava nodded slowly. "Then do it right this time," she said. "Sit down. Let's start again." The man at the bar scowled, muttered something under his breath, and stormed out. But Ethan stayed. They talked for hours, about life, about pain, about how cruel people could be, and how rare kindness had become. Ava told him how she'd been rejected from dozens of dates, not because of her personality, but because people couldn't see past her height. "I stopped expecting people to treat me like I belong," she said quietly. "But I never stopped hoping." When the night ended, Ethan walked her to her car. She turned to him with a faint smile. "You know," she said, "I think your daughter's lucky to have a dad who still knows right from wrong." He didn't know what to say. For the first time in a long time, someone believed in him, not as a failure, not as a man struggling to survive, but as someone capable of doing good. That night, Ethan went home and couldn't sleep. He thought about Ava's strength, her grace under pain, and how her reaction had changed something in him. The next morning, he donated the $1,000 to a disability support charity, anonymously. Then, he sent Ava a message: "I don't deserve your forgiveness, but thank you for showing me what courage really looks like." Weeks passed. Ethan focused on being a better father, more patient, more hopeful. Then one day, he got a letter in the mail. It was from Ava. Inside was an invitation. She was launching her foundation for children with dwarfism, and she wanted him to come. "You said you wanted to make things right," she wrote. "This is your chance." Ethan showed up with Lily, who instantly took a liking to Ava. Watching his daughter laugh with her, he realized something profound. Sometimes, life brings people into your world not to test your morals, but to heal your broken pieces. Ava had done that for him. At the end of the event, Ava came up to him, smiling. "You kept your promise," she said. He smiled back. "You kept your hope." They stood there quietly, surrounded by laughter and music, two broken souls who found strength in forgiveness. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because kindness, redemption, and love are what truly make us human. Speech balloon special request. Tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were in Ethan's place? Because sometimes, one small act of compassion can rewrite someone's entire story.